Hello, hello, hello everybody, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Mira, and I will be playing Sammy Jax this afternoon. And with me is the very wonderful, wonderful friend of mine,
Vegan Bear! Hi, I am Vegan Bear, and I will be playing Benjamin Sickle, the Chaos Bird.
who we love very, 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 very much. I love this Chaos Bird so much.
Thank you. He loves you too.
Yay! Alright, alright. Benji, how have you been since the events of Barkson Files?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, Benjamin most likely hasn't been doing the most exciting of things. He's just... Okay, maybe he has been sitting on the poster thing for a while, but other than that, nothing exciting. He still is wandering around the city with Archibald, seeing all the pretty sights. He got a new shirt, that's all I can say. So, yeah, nothing too much excitement.
I mean, that's valid, considering the chaos that happened during Barkson Files. I don't blame Benji for just kind of trying to go back to his normal routine of just vibing in Toontown and wandering. And speaking of wandering, Benji, could you roll me a perception check for me real quick?
I could most definitely. Ooh, what was that voice crack? Anyway. Perception, you said, correct?
Yep, perception.
That is... okay, yeah. That is a +1 for the bird.
Alright,
15.
15, okay. With a 15, you immediately notice that, hey, you're not in the Toontown that you normally go and wander around. This is completely new to you, Benjamin, and you're a little surprised because you've wandered a lot, because one of your things is you wander a lot. And another thing that you notice right off the bat is as soon as you step over across the street, because you're crossing from one block to the next, on one side it's bustling, it's like very vibrant, normally like very loud, and like just like the life of the city, basically. You hear the noise of the city, you have people shopping and just walking, doing their business. And then as soon as you cross the street, it's like you step over a line. It is suddenly dead quiet, and there are no people around you. It is just silent.
Well... That's not creepy in any way. Anyway, why did I give him the German accent? But that's not creepy in any way.
And you kind of notice that the buildings are dilapidated. They're definitely more abandoned looking than the other block that you just barely crossed from. It's basically, you get the vibe that this place is kind of abandoned. And up ahead you see a theater with its sign on the top that like would normally be displaying what play was going on. Kind of the sign has been worn away. You kind of can see that there are like maybe a few letters left, but you honestly can't really tell what was being displayed on what would be what day and stuff anymore. It's just completely worn away, and there is an alleyway right next to the theater. And I'm just gonna roll a quick thing. Oh,
yeah, I'm not sure on how Benjamin feels about the theater. Be more specific on the theater. What kind of theater is this?
Like, it's kind of like a theater where you would go see plays and stuff.
Oh, Benjamin does not like that. No. Okay, he's not like walking away from it, but he's just getting the feeling of, oh, Oh, that.
Okay, and you basically you kind of hear like something shuffling kind of coming from the alleyway, but it's like kind of like the clinking of ceramic against stone almost. Like it's like something kind of stony rubbing against something stony, basically.
Okay, first we have the theater, which is now seems to be abandoned. And then we have, now we have people creeping around. Great. What else can go wrong? Okay.
If it helps any, the theater, the alleyway next to the theater is kind of shadowy, so you could slip into the shadows without any stealth roll. I would give that to you.
Benjamin does most definitely start backing up towards that in case this person, hypothetically, is not too nice if he needs an escape.
As you're backing up into the alleyway and kind of melding into the shadows, you notice that there is a gap between the building on the right, which is basically just your regular kind of a shop with like made out of brick and mortar and stuff, and then on the side of the theater there is this kind of older looking wooden fence with one of the slats pulled to the side, kind of giving a gap where a toon could like easily squeeze through. And as you're kind of melding into the shadows, you look and you notice that, hey, there's a garden in there. Huh, I wonder what that's all about.
Without a second thought, he slips through the crack. He doesn't care if he's going in.
And, alright, give me another perception check, okay?
Okay. Oh boy. As I remember, this is one.
Okay, 18. So, it's a garden. It is full with a wide array of colors. There are rainbow flowers. You're like, whoa, rainbow flowers, that's nifty. You look up and there are a bunch of trees that are kind of scattered about the garden as it kind of leads away from the back end of the theater, because it's basically like almost like a courtyard that's basically been turned into a very gorgeous, thriving garden. And as you look, you notice that there are these really interesting roses that are kind of growing on vines intermixed with some of the branches. And as you look like closer, you notice that, oh, whoa, those are actually kind of glowing, because like they're like a pink and a gold, and they glow in that kind of color mixture. And as you look around even more, and like you're still kind of hidden in the shadows, you notice that there is the sound of a fountain, and you are looking and you see a fountain with a lady with a black dress and rainbow glass blown rainbow hair holding a spear, and the spear is gushing out water, which is where the water sound is coming from. And as you look, you almost didn't see him because of the fact that like there is so much color. You're looking everywhere, like noticing everything. But you see Sammy, and you kind of pause for a moment, because this is Sammy without his mask or his hood up. And he also has rainbow hair.
I like to think as Benjamin, okay, first seeing the person that has this rainbow hair, not the lady, the person, the smaller one, assuming that the statue is bigger.
Yeah, the statue is definitely bigger than Sammy. Like, and Sammy's kind of close to the ground because he's gardening at this point. And
he takes a good look. Sorry.
You notice that there is a pot that is currently sitting on top of the fountain's edge, which you assume is what the sound of stone against stone was.
Benjamin, I like to imagine it takes him a second as he just like squints at this tiny person before realizing that this is Sammy. Like, wait, is that the same man? Is that the same person? What has happened to them? Okay, no, he does not say this aloud, but
basically thought process going on.
Yeah, he stands there a little while looking at them. Also, I do want to say that I love the fact that Benjamin's whole entire thing is just like black and white and being shadows, while Sammy is all colorful and stuff. Just wanted to say I like that. Anyway, Benjamin, he looks at Sammy for a while before he's kind of like, oh my gosh, it's my brother! And he has like this mischievous smirk on his face as he comes up with an idea. And with that, I wish to make a stealth check.
Go ahead.
Okay. Benjamin, please don't fail this. Asking you to do it, you're most likely— Oh! 23!
With a 23! Yes! You basically are one with the shadows. You just— zoop! You are darkness. You are the night. Sammy sees nothing, because I'm not going to roll perception for this, because Sammy's passive perception is a 14. And he is currently gardening.
Yeah, Benjamin, he's kind of like slinking around in the shadows for a little bit. And if I'm being honest, at some point, he just does this like little cartoonish dive into the flowers. No, he doesn't want to damage them, but he does kind of like dive into the flowers and...
Basically, I have this mental image of him diving into a flower patch and then like kind of moving through the grass, like some of the taller grass or bushes, and just like you have the like rustle of something moving through the plants.
Yeah, he does that, and as soon as he comes close enough, like, he's close enough to Sammy that he does become noticeable when he chooses to, but far away enough that he's not within like arm's reach of Sammy. It will require Sammy to stand up and walk to him, but as soon as he gets to a comfortable position of where he likes to do it, he does rustle the grass a little, hoping that catches the attention of Sammy.
Okay, let me roll perception to see if he would notice the rustle of the grass. Dirty 20!
Nice, dirty 20.
Like, he just kind of paws, sets down his shovel, and he kind of turns to look at the rustling grass, because he assumes it's a bird. Like even though, like, that perception...
Well, it is a bird.
Like,
you are technically correct, it is a bird.
So, he's like, because, like, reason why I'm doing this, like, saying this is because, since Benji rolled a 23 in his, stealth, Sammy assumes that it is, like, a robin or a blue jay that is rustling the grass and bushes.
Yeah,
and not his brother. So he kind of turns, and his shading is gray, by the way, like, as he turns to look.
Bold of you to assume I know what Sammy's colors mean. Sorry, yeah, I still have no idea what color Sammy turns for emotion, but I'm guessing gray is not a good color. Well, not a positive one.
Well, I'm giving you this one. It means he's very confused.
Okay, yeah. So, confusion. Alrighty. So, yeah.
So, yeah, he just turned to look. What's Benjamin gonna do?
He is... Okay, yeah. I'm realizing Sammy's not gonna get closer to an inspect, so... Benjamin, he takes a bold leap forward, using his ever-so-special silhouetting ability that he has. Okay, what is... Oh, I didn't think what he would silhouette as. You know what? Let's go tiger. He likes tigers. He leaps out, silhouetted as a giant tiger, and using minor illusion, he does a tiger's roar. Maybe more, yeah, a tiger's roar. It's much louder and it's scarier.
Okay, I just rolled a win save to see if he would get spooked or not. For the listening audience, that was a 4. So, like, I
I could try rolling intimidation if there's a possibility.
If you want, let's see how convincing. Let's see how convincing Benji is.
Okay, would this be intimidation or deception?
Or
does it not matter?
Choose whichever one you want.
I'm gonna go with intimidation because it's good. I have a pretty good stat for intimidation. And
okay, yep.
14.
A 14. Contesting a 4 is very, very intimidating.
It could have been more convincing, but we still got Sammy.
It's above average, and Sammy is very jumpy right now. So basically, what happens is you silhouette as this shadowy tiger with this kind of convincing roar. It's convincing enough and loud enough and sudden enough that you just watch as Sammy jumps with a very high-pitched, kind of girly-ish shriek, and then falls over, and his shading has gone from gray to purple. And he's just kind of flat on his back.
Benjamin, he quickly silhouettes out of the tiger, just kind of like landing on top of Sammy, and is like, "Hi, Sammy."
Benji, hi. You pecker, and Sammy's gonna roll roll big attack save for me real quick.
Oh my gosh. Okay, a dex save, right?
Yep, a dex save.
Okay. You know what? It's worth it. It was worth it.
Okay, Benji, you are now stuck in a grapple / headlock as Sammy kind of pulls you in closer and just digs his knuckles into your head.
You know what, Benji, he is kind of like wailing his arms around, like, trying to free himself while laughing. Because, you know what, fair enough, he did scare you with a tiger. He's just kind of like... he is putting up a bit of a fight, but...
but it's ineffective
laughing
against a barbarian who is just, like... digging his knuckles into your scalp, just like, what the heck? I keep forgetting Sammy's a barbarian too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, eventually he does let you go, Benji, and he just kind of sits up and he just kind of tilts his head and is just like, what are you doing here, Benji?
Well, I was just walking around Toontown. Crossed the street, found Can I ask what you're doing behind this theater?
It houses one of my god's shrines. And he, points his finger, not his finger, his thumb at, the statue, and, Benji, go ahead and roll religion.
Benji? What is your religion? Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not. Oh, heck. Wrong thing. I added a +2. I'm sorry. It's wrong. Here's a +1. You know
okay,
what?
That would be a 7 then, if it was a +1.
Yeah, that'd be a 7. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
So a 7.
I just feel like Sammy like jerks his thumb at the statue, and like there's just a dot question mark, and I feel like the conclusion that you come to is not, oh,
is that your girlfriend? No, I'm joking, no.
No, honestly, like that with an 8, that could potentially be the conclusion that Benji makes. I'm going to ask, does Benji say this out loud?
You know what, might as well.
Benji, you just get the most deer in the headlights look on Sammy's face as you just blurt this out, and just like Sammy's just like dot. What? And his shading goes completely gray again, and he just kind of looks from you, then slowly turns to look up at the statue, and then slowly back at you, Benji, and he's just like, I'm gay.
Benjamin returns the glare back to you. He does not know what that means.
I don't like girls like that.
Oh.
But she's more like my mom than a girlfriend. She, that's Prismatone. She's my deity, and she's kinda, adopted me? So to speak?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm one of her clerics, so I like to tend the shrines that I find around Toontown, and this has become where I tend to go when I want to feel safe.
Oh. Benjamin looks around. Again, it's really colorful and it looks really pretty. I imagine it to be really pretty from the description that you gave.
Yeah, it's really pretty, and it's very obviously well loved and well kept.
I keep forgetting to say this, but I imagine that by the beginning of the game, Benjamin did not realize that he was wearing a flower shirt until now.
Hold soft.
He has no idea how he always wears a shirt that always corresponds to the situation that he is in, but it ever so well turns out. Anyway,
it's part of his design. Don't question it.
Part of his design. Yeah. So Benjamin looks around and it's like, well, you do a very good job.
You get a smile, Benji, and as you look at Sammy, I'm gonna go with that, like, 18 from earlier. You notice that his teeth are actually really sharp. Huh.
Yep. Ben just tries to avoid looking at the teeth.
And he, like, kind of just, like, smiles at you a bit, and then, like, his face kind of softens, and he's just like, so, how are you, Benji? I haven't really seen you since, and he just kind of makes a gesture referring to the, you know.
Okay, I really want to roll to see if Benjamin would remember, because otherwise he's just going to keep looking at Sammy like, what do you mean? Yeah, he doesn't take gestures too well.
You know what? Roll for it.
Alrighty, so would that be intelligence?
Yeah, like, I would say, like, roll history.
Alrighty, history. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Here we go. History.
Okay.
13.
I feel like you kind of, you don't immediately get what Sammy's meaning, but, like, you kind of, you know basically what happened the last time you two saw each other. It was he got kidnapped. You guys had to go rescue him, and he was freaking out in a warehouse. And yeah, it was a fun time. A fun time. Yeah, yeah. Just kind of that like whole entire mess.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping we could keep this question till the end, but if we're bringing it up now, we're bringing it up now.
Yep.
So, Benjamin is like, oh yeah, that. He's completely skimming over the fact that that ending happened, and he just has this like really happy look on his face as he remembers for the most part the happy part of him with Coda. Say, what happened? What did happen to Coda? Where is he?
He's off somewhere. I haven't seen him in a bit, and you kind of get Sammy's shoulders deflating a bit because Coda has been going off on adventures without Sammy, and he's been kind of left behind. And you don't really you kind of just get the impression, Benji, you don't even have to roll insight for this, Sammy's been spending a lot of time at the garden. A lot of time.
Benjamin, it's bad for you, Sammy. Yeah, he has been doing off his own little thing. Again, as I've explained near the beginning, he's been wandering around Toontown.
Mm-hmm.
He just recently found this out, and oh boy, Sammy has been spending a lot of time alone, and Benjamin is like, well, I could be in the garden with you.
Sammy's shading goes yellow, and then it kind of trying to figure out what shading what color it would go, but it kind of turns a bit blue, and he kind of shakes his head and he's like, I'm not gonna be in Toontown for a while, Benji. I'm actually gonna be not I'm gonna be traveling for a bit, actually. A lot has happened since we saw each other last, and he just kind of trails off because oh boy, there was a lot that went down that he's been a part of. Whew.
Oh, and I personally don't know because I haven't listened into the games, unfortunately.
Which is valid.
Yeah, Benjamin does. Not really sure if you want to roll insight on this or not on Benjamin, sure. But I do. Why not?
I'll roll insight, and then you can. That wasn't that one. Sammy realizes shit.
I guess the only thing you catch is that Benjamin just kind of like looks down, like, oh, well. Ooh, let's say this. Before your adventure, how about we get to bond a little?
Of course.
You know, let's the spirits.
Yeah, let's raise the spirits. Woo! And like he kind of like waves his arms, like waves his fingers, kind of like as if like he was like imitating something spooky.
That's the spirit.
And Sammy kind of like just giggles as he kind of like he made a joke. It landed. Yay!
Yeah. Okay. From here, Benjamin, he just kind of looks around, and with the gardens and stuff like that, he's kind of like, let's say, how would you feel for a game of hide and seek?
Sammy looks around the garden and then he's just like, he kind of grins at you, Benji, very challengingly, and he's like, well, there certainly is a lot of places to hide in the garden. Are you sure you're going to want to try and hide where I know every nook and cranny?
Benjamin just returns you the challenging glare, like, you dare challenge me, the master of the shadows.
Sammy laughs, and then he just kind of like covers his eyes a bit, and he's just like, okay, you go first, okay?
Okay.
So,
alrighty, so
roll stealth.
I guess Benjamin's going out first.
Yep, roll stealth.
Okay, as I am looking at stealth, I am trying to decide what is Benjamin going to try and achieve.
Okay, there's like a plenty, there's a lot of bushes, there's a lot of trees. You could hide behind the pillars of the theater. There's also behind the fountain, behind the statue of the fountain. Yeah, there's like a ton of trees and like a lot of like nice, good, cozy shadows that you could slip into as well.
I like to imagine that he's running towards the theater before realizing that he's running towards the theater before turning around quickly, like, nope, not going near that thing. Let's go with the classic. He hops up into a tree and he tries to find the darkest branch he can. With a nat 1, I don't think he does a very good job.
Like, I feel like it's just like one of those like lower hanging branches and just like his tail feathers are sticking out from behind the leaves. Very clearly in view.
I was thinking more if it was like one of those younger trees that didn't have too much time to develop, and he's trying to hide behind that thing, despite it being like a stick sticking out of the ground.
Yes, let's go with that. That's funnier.
And he's just like, haha, Sammy will never find me here.
If I close my eyes, no one else can see me.
Oh my god, you know what, going with that logic, he covers his own eyes. He just buries his face into his gloves and is like, haha, my plan is foolproof!
Oh my gosh, I love Benji. And Sammy just I'm just gonna really quickly roll. Okay, you don't really hear this, Benji, but like just there's the very quietest of like steps against the grass, and then tap tap, found you.
Aw, man! And he's just there like, he's like a little child. He's standing there like a little child, a little angry that his plan just failed, and he's like, no! Where did I fail?
Maybe find a thicker tree next time. Yeah, Benjamin, he just kind of like crosses his arms and pounds for a few seconds before like, okay, your turn. Okay, close your eyes, no peeking. And roll stuff. And that's an 8. What's his passive?
Oh my gosh. Benjamin's passive perception is an 11.
Okay, yeah, so, where Sammy hides is a bush, but unfortunately, he's 6 feet. He is not small enough to hide his rainbow hair from the bush. And like, I feel like a lot of his hair actually gets stuck in the branches. So like, there's just very visible clumps of rainbow hair poking out from the top of the bush. Very obvious.
Oh, very. Okay, as Benjamin opens his eyes, he looks around, catching the rainbow hair. just like runs over to it. Yeah, he makes no attempt to hide the fact that he's coming. You just hear a pat, 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 pat as his feet hit the ground. And then you catch sight of the bird right in front of your face, like, found ya!
Like, I just have, like, this mental image of Benji, like, parting the bush to reveal Sammy's face.
Yeah, I imagine. You know what? Yeah, like that.
And, like, Sammy's just like, ah, darn it, and, like, I can't actually snap it. He just kind of snaps his fingers. And then he doesn't actually get out of the bush. He just kind of covers his eyes, like, okay, your turn.
Yeah, okay, this time Benjamin, he looks around for a very good while. Oh boy. Here's my question. Are there any flowers that are black? Or at least a really dark color?
There are some that are kind of like a navy blue, like a very, very dark navy blue.
Good enough. Benjamin, he's going to go towards those, and he kind of like slips into them like when he first found the garden, and he's going to try and silhouette himself as one of the flowers. An 11.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll perception to see if Sammy will actually realize that, oh hey, these aren't actually normal flowers. Oh yeah, a 15.
Yeah.
Like he kind of gets thrown for a moment as he is wandering through the garden trying to find Benjamin, and like he looks up first because you were hiding behind a tree first, and you're a bird. So he looks up first. So it takes him a little bit, and then he looks down kind of around, finding no traces of you in the trees, and then he just kind of slowly turns to a patch of these really dark blue flowers and goes, one of these things aren't like the other.
Benjamin is just kind of like sweating behind the feathers, like, oh no.
And like I just feel like he walks over and then like just make a dex save actually.
Okay, I do want to say that the only problem with Benjamin's silhouette is that it's 2D. If you go behind it, you can see the bird, so...
I know,
and with Sam... yeah. But also with Sammy's height, he can probably see over the feathers, so that doesn't help Benjamin in his case.
Yeah, but it's... yeah.
You said save, right?
Yep, make a dex save.
Alrighty, so with a dex save...
Okay, with a 15, you do not get poked in the stomach.
Good.
And like, I just feel like you see Sammy's finger coming, you know he sees you, and you dance out of the way, breaking your silhouette.
Yeah. Actually, quickly, is it possible that Benjamin can get like a little chomp as his head sticks out of the silhouette, kind of like biting lightly at Sammy's finger before he just like dashes away?
Sure, with a 15, yes.
Okay, so he kind of like nips at Sammy's finger before like jumping up and is like, catch me if you can! And he's just like running away now at full sprint away from Sammy.
Okay, roll athletics.
Oh boy. Athletics. Fun. Benjamin, why? Oh boy. Oh boy, Benjamin. Oh boy. 16. Benjamin needs to exercise more. Never mind.
Considering the fact that Sammy got an 11 in athletics, you kind of leave him in the dust, and like it just... like, I have like this mental image of Benjamin, you're running, and Sammy tries to jump for you, and then like just there's like the very cartoony puff of dust that goes up in your trail, and like Sammy's like on the ground, and he just kind of coughs on a few petals as you leave him in the dust, literally.
Oh boy. Yeah, Benjamin, he's I'm not really sure where he is. I think at this point now he's on the other end of the garden, either longitude or horizontally.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I should have made a map of the garden. My apologies, but yeah, just
No.
yeah. I'll have to.
If I'm being honest, near the beginning, as I've said near the beginning, I think Benjamin ran away from the theater, so I think he was at the furthest point away from it.
Okay, he would be.
And now he's running towards it.
Okay.
Now he's running towards the theater.
Alright, so that would have been kind of close to the fountain, so now he's running towards the theater. Alright.
Alright.
Let's see, I'm gonna roll athletics again to see if Sammy can catch Benji, and that's a 5. Nope. I feel like he he just kind of runs, like he gets up and like starts running without looking, and then just runs face first into a tree.
The fact that Sammy has a +2 in athletics while Benjamin has a -2. Oh boy. Sammy, how?
A lot better than.
Benjamin just kind of like looks around, like he doesn't have long before Sammy gets up and does something. What is something that Benjamin can do? You know what? I am very tempted to do this, and I'm gonna do it. Okay. Is there anything near Benjamin he can grab, like, preferably a fruit? Something edible?
1 sec, let me just roll. No, there's no real fruit trees in the garden.
Ah. Shame. Anyway, it's not gonna do much. Rocks of any kind.
There are some rocks, and there's some, like, kind of loosely packed clumps of dirt.
He doesn't want dirt, he wants the rocks.
Okay, well, there's a few, like, pebbles and stones and stuff scattered about its garden.
Yeah, he grabs the 2 biggest rocks he can find. With one of them, he tucks into his hammer space for later usage, and the second one, he holds it in his hand, and visually I like to imagine that there is a little bit of black, like, mist coming from its fist now with the rock. And he kind of winds it up like a baseball or a bowl. Actually, no, I'm going to go more for bowling. He winds it up, and he rolls the rock. And as he rolls it, it is still emitting that black mist. To explain the black mist, Benjamin, you know what, he's far away enough, I'm assuming. Okay, wait, I need to reread what it does, first of all. Give me a second, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Okay, yeah, no. I think he's far away enough from Sammy, but so he rolls Sammy up a rock that is emitting this black mist because Benjamin used one of his spell slots, to be more specific, if you need to be more specific, a level 2 spell slot to be able to cast Darkness. Basically, what it does is, oh boy, magical darkness spreads from a point you choose within a range to fill a 15-foot radius sphere for the duration. The darkness spreads around corners. A creature with dark vision can't see through this darkness, and non-magical light can eliminate it. If the point you choose is on an object you are holding or one that isn't being worn or carried, the darkness emanates from that object and moves with it, completely covering the source of the darkness with an opaque object, such as a bowl or a helm, blocks the darkness. If any of the spell's area overlaps with an area of light created by a spell of 2nd level or lower, the spell that created the light is dispelled.
Dang.
Yeah, I know, but
Sammy just kind of.
But it's on a rock, so you can just flick the rock away, or you can just cover it with an opaque object, as said. That is assuming if Sammy has any idea what's going on.
I'm going to roll Arcana to see if Sammy realizes what the heck is going on. Which is a D20. No, with a 7, he does not. He just kind of freeze. It's suddenly very dark.
Yeah, it's all darkness. Benjamin's going to take the opportunity as Sammy is trying to figure out what's up with the pebble. Nah. You know, I'm gonna flip a coin to see what he decides to do. He scatters up the closest tree that is hopefully full grown this time. Try and disguise himself, the one with the tree. Please, Benji. Please succeed on your stealth roll. You've literally put your brother in the darkness.
I would say have advantage.
11.
I would say have advantage because Sammy is currently engulfed in darkness right now. Okay, 17. With a 17, that beats Sammy's passive. Sammy is going to,
You're in literal darkness.
Yep, he's gonna roll, another, Arcana check to see if he can figure out what's going on. He knows that it's, like, I feel like he knows at this point that it's magic darkness, but he's, like, basically, like, he's like moving his arms trying to see if he can smack the source of darkness away, not realizing that it's on the ground.
and the fact that it's a tiny little pebble stone that's doing it too.
Yep.
Unfortunately, so it's going to take you a while.
Yep. Like I feel like just like for flavor, all that really can be seen on quote unquote the screen is just Sammy's gold eyes, blink, 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 blink. Like, you know how in cartoons when it's completely dark and you just see the character's eyes? That's basically what's going on with Sammy right now. It's just like, okay, gonna roll, just a, straight D20 to see if he accidentally just manages to, like, kick the...
7.
Kick the pebble away. Nope. He's still stuck.
Nope.
And it's just like, Benji? Benji, what did you do?
Benji just still sitting in the tree is kind of like, I may or may not have put you into magical darkness.
Yeah, I noticed that. How can I get my sight back?
Benjamin just sits there for a good while looking at the spear of darkness that's like in the middle of the garden.
Yep.
That he has created. He's kind of like looking at it like, oh my gosh.
With an 8, still no luck. I feel like if he fails this next round, like the next round, he's gonna like just walk out of the darkness just by himself.
Benjamin completely forgetting the fact that darkness requires concentration, so he's just staring at darkness and is like, okay, how do I end it? I've gotten to a point of advantage. How do I get rid of the darkness? And he's still staring at it very intently, like, How
about you have him roll Arcana to see if he remembers?
Oh, Benjamin. Oh my gosh, Benjamin rolling. Okay, imagine if Benjamin fails the Arcana, despite the fact that this is his own spell that he cast, and that he has spent like a year or so learning magic. Yeah, just completely forgetting the fact that he can't. Yep.
Just these two brothers having no clue what the peck magic actually does.
Oh, I like to imagine that Benjamin just sitting there up in the tree. You ever have that thing where you're doing something that you've been doing for many years, but one day you sit down to do it, and you have this feeling as if you've forgotten, like, you don't know how to do it anymore? I feel like that's what's happening with Benjamin as he's, like, staring at the sphere of darkness that he has created and is like, how do I do that? What if I... Ooh, Sammy, I have a good idea.
Yeah, Benji?
Okay, I'm gonna quickly roll Hammer's face, because remember the second pebble he tucked away? Never mind!
Fumble!
Okay, Benjamin, what do you pull out? 13. He pulls out a script with torn out pages. It's like a blue script with these yellowing pages and... Okay, honestly, I know Sammy's not looking at it, but it's... there are torn out pages. Benjamin, he's just kind of like looking at the script, like, this isn't what I wanted. But it'll do. He holds onto it very tightly as he casts the spell Light, the cantrip Light. I'm assuming you know what Light is. Yeah, he picks up the book Light, actually, quickly. Okay, yeah, never mind. He grabs the script, which is now glowing, and he yeets it at the darkness. And actually,
I want you to roll something. 1 sec. Let me. I want you to roll
a dex.
Yeah, roll dex to see if you can actually manage to get the papers into the shadows, this darkness that you've created. Okay, yeah, with 17, you definitely managed to hit your mark, and I'm just gonna roll a dex save really quick. You managed to beam Sammy right in the head with this glowing stack of script paper, and just thunk, and then poof, as the script kind of just scatters from that point of hitting Sammy in the head. I assume that the darkness is dispelled.
Actually, no, here's the problem. Benjamin completely oversaw this. Darkness dispels any spells that can cast light.
Okay.
If it is a spell slot of 2 or lower. Light is a cantrip, so technically,
gotcha.
Darkness dispels the script book. So all that happens is Sammy gets hit in the face with this old book, and he has no idea what hit him.
Ow! Benji!
Did it work?
No! I'm still as blind as a bat. No, actually blinder. Bats can use echolocation. I can't see for peck.
Benjamin just continues to stare at the darkness, like, okay, but do you see the script? Do you see the script?
Is that what hit me in the head?
It should be glowing. Do you see it?
Nope. I see peckle.
Okay,
Okay, and, Sammy kind of, like, gets close to the pebble, and then just, like, his foot swerves and doesn't hit the pebble. And he's just so lost in the dark.
Sammy lost in the darkness that his brother cast, who forgot what this which his brother has cast, who forgot how spells work.
Can you
Despite being a complete sorcerer.
Can you just
We have a cleric and a sorcerer.
the pecking whatever the peck you did. I'd like to see now.
Here's the thing, Sammy. I don't remember. I don't remember how. I don't remember how to get rid of the darkness. The darkness.
Great. Thanks.
You know what? Should I roll Arcana again?
Yeah,
to
roll
see if
Arcana again.
Benjamin, I swear to Lord, if you forget how darkness works a second time.
Okay, with a 15, okay. I think you managed to remember. Oh wait, I'm actively concentrating on the spell. I better stop concentrating on that spell. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, here's the thing. Can you willingly stop concentration on the...
Yeah, you can break the spell yourself. You can stop concentrating on the spell.
Benjamin's like, oh, right. I just need to stop concentrating on it. I keep forgetting he has a wish. And he just slinks back into the tree as the dark mist recedes right back into the source that is now a black pebble, because why not? Yes. The pebble has turned black from the darkness.
Just gonna roll. Okay, with a nat 20, Sammy does not go blind. From the darkness receding. I like you just kind of blink, and then he just reaches down and scoops up the black pebble and just kind of hefts it in his hands, because, huh, that's nice. And then he's gonna put it in his hammer space. That's his now.
You still have the script, which has its pages and contents just spilled all over the floor.
Sammy's gonna spend a minute kind of collect all of that, and then he's going to roll perception to see if he can spot Benji. And with an 11, no he cannot.
Okay, I need to remember, what did Benjamin roll for his stealth?
I honestly don't remember, and since you basically kind of had him re-hide again, I would say re-roll.
Alrighty, re-roll. Benjamin, don't pick this up, please. As I say this, he picks up. Yep. 11.
Let me just roll one more time as he looks, because this is a... with a 7, it works.
Okay, thankfully. Benjamin has now learned a lesson of never to cast darkness on his brother again. Is he gonna remember it? No. Okay. Okay, so Benjamin is still hiding up in a tree.
Yeah, I think Sammy, like, gets distracted by, like, searching through the bushes. That's why he hasn't noticed that, oh, hey, tree is occupied.
If possible, Benjamin is probably going to try and climb higher or deeper into the tree.
Okay, roll me stealth again, because you're climbing. No, okay. Actually, roll me acrobatics, since you're climbing.
I already rolled stealth. Actually, let's, you know what, let's roll stealth and acrobatics at this point. So, yeah, his climbing isn't that stealthy. And his acrobatics?
Yeah, you don't fall out of the tree. You don't fall out of the tree.
That's good.
The reason why your stealth is so poor, though, is because you nearly did fall out of the tree, but you managed to catch yourself, and your claws kind of scrabble, your talons kind of scrabble against the bark a little bit, and, like, there's, like, bits of, like, bark that kind of fall to the ground beneath the tree, and you managed to secure yourself back up onto one of the other branches.
Okay, Benjamin, in an attempt to hide himself, he is going to cast Minor Illusion of a very angry squirrel sound.
Okay, let's roll perception to see if Sammy notices. A 6. No. He looks up and hears the squirrel noise and assumes that, there's a squirrel fight going on in the trees.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Benjamin sighed relief.
Benji, where are you?
No. What other things can Benjamin do? Sorry, it's just I'm looking through the different spells that Benjamin has.
Valid.
Seeing what he can do to mess with Sammy even more, because I told you that he didn't learn the lesson from when he cast darkness on his brother. He's gonna do it again.
Oh, no.
Okay, not with darkness, but I'm seeing which spells aren't gonna hurt his brother. Okay, which one's not gonna hurt his brother, but still be enough to mess with him? Ooh. There's not too many spells that Benjamin knows that are good for messing with his brother, but... Oh... Oh no, that's gonna definitely hurt him. Is there anything that Sammy is currently doing down on Earth as Benjamin is looking through the list of spells that he remembers?
He's basically kind of like searching around the plants, and like he's kind of stuck his head into one of the bushes, popped back out. Geez, there's a lot of branches and leaves stuck in his hair by this point.
No.
Like, his head is starting to imitate a bush of its own.
You know what? Okay, I'm looking through the spells, and here is something that I came up with. I might have to bend its rules just a wee bit for this. Screw it. Benji's a sorcerer. He can manipulate his magic however he wishes. So what Benjamin does is he has this little idea to mess with his brother a little more, and with... Okay, maybe he doesn't quite snap his fingers, but he does cast Magic Missile.
Basically, you could just have, you could intentionally have the target, quote-unquote, be not where Sammy is, but close to Sammy.
Right.
So
I'm sorry, I'm looking through the meta magic options that Benjamin has, and nope, he has no meta magic options that will stop Benjamin from hurting Sammy, because I do most definitely know that there is an option where he can have them automatically succeed on the spell, with the spell. You know, the spell doesn't do any damage to whoever he chooses for the spell to not do damage to.
This is basically just a FPS, so you could just say he casts the spell, but the target's not Sammy and stuff, and I would allow it.
No, but here's the thing. I want the missiles to kind of like pinch Sammy. I want it to mess with him. Actually, can I do this? He directs 2 of the missiles at Sammy, with a third one going towards a bush. But he sends the dart that goes towards a bush first, before the 2 that are directed at Sammy after.
Basically, since you're not going for non-lethal, you're basically going for non-lethal damage, I would allow that, basically.
Okay. So, are we gonna...
Yeah.
Okay, no damage, or...
Honestly, Sammy's a barbarian. He has 66 HP. He can handle being hit by his brother.
2 times, so the most amount of damage that Benjamin can deal is 10 damage. Hopefully that doesn't hurt his brother too much, so...
Basically, just roll 2 d4s plus 1.
So
well, plus 2, actually. Since you're sending 2 darts.
No, both of the... don't both of them need to be rolled separately?
I mean, you can, but like basically, you're basically rolling twice.
Okay, I'm gonna roll it like this. 5 damage in total.
Yeah.
So 2 missiles pinch at you. With a third one going into a bush.
Sammy kind of just yelps, like jumps 10 feet. So to speak, he's gonna roll perception again to see if he can. Holy crap, Sammy, you are blind as a bat!
I think it's from the darkness spell. He's still getting adjusted to the light. Benjamin is sorry for your eyesight.
Sammy just kind of spins around and like he knows the general direction of where Benji is, but not where, and he just kind of pulls down his eyelid and goes, "Bleh!" Sticks out his tongue.
Benjamin is offended.
Benji, what the heck was that for?
Benjamin he's trying to hold himself back from snickering. He's trying not to laugh as he's just messing with his poor brother. You know, Sammy, once you find Benji, you can go back at him with the spells.
Well, the thing is,
but
let's see, Sammy, I'm gonna say Sammy's in range of Benji. Hey Benji, roll a whiz save.
Oh no, what are you doing? You know what? What are you doing? Okay, I just like the fact that I'm sitting up here and just like messing around with Sammy, like, ha ha, fun. But as soon as you do anything to my boy, I'm like, oh gosh, what did you do? 5.
What's a 5? Okay, I'm just gonna, like, since this is like, Sammy's not really intending to like actually hurt Benji, you just take a d6 of damage, and like you just kind of, I'm just like, he's just like, you suddenly hear in his voice a whisper of boo, and you must immediately use your reaction, if available, to move as far as your speed allows away from me.
Okay, I think I know what you're using. Dissonant whispers.
Yep. Yeah. Dissonant whispers.
Okay, it is time for Benji to return and scream as he's just like, ah! And he scurries up the tree as fast as he can.
And I feel like that's when Sammy finally sees Benji.
I'm gonna roll acrobatics, because, again, he's climbing. He do be climbing.
He do be climbing. Okay, of 11.
11.
It's definitely a scramble. You don't fall off, but yeah, no, there's no way you're able to hide your movement from Sammy. I just have like...
He's just clinging, he's just hugging the trunk like, no, don't hurt me, please. Ghost of the tree. Ghost of the tree.
Like, there's just, like, Sammy is at the base of the tree looking up at you, Benji, and just like, tap, 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 tap. You gotta come down.
I'm sorry, tree. I just like to imagine he hasn't quite realized that Sammy is tapping at him. I won't be mean to Sammy again.
Benji, you're gonna come down? I can see you.
Benjamin just kind of looks down at Sammy and is like, oh. He slowly just like slides down the trunk and is like, I was never scared.
Sammy just kind of reaches over and kind of ruffles your head feathers.
Yet a second time.
But this time it's not a noogie, it's just kind of like that plop hand on your head. Rustle, 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 rustle.
Oh boy.
Well, I think you've demonstrated that you are very good at hiding.
The best.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Even though you had to get dirty to do it. And
yeah, he just has this dumb smile on his face. Okay, if I'm being honest, the image that I have in my head, you know those like images when a person has this like really big smile but really small eyes?
Yes.
That's kind of like the facial expression that Benjamin is giving Sammy, but in like a smuggish looking way.
Mm-hmm. And Benji, you look at Sammy and you notice that his expression has gone from like just kind of like that friendly brotherly rubbing to like just a very soft smile, and his shading is rose edged with gold as he's looking at you.
I'm guessing that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good thing. And he just kind of rustles your head one more time, and he's like, "Did you have fun?"
A lot.
God, I'm glad.
But most importantly, did you have fun?
And he laughs, and he's just like, "Yeah, I had fun." And he's
okay. If I'm being honest, I was expecting Sammy to say no, as he did get stuck in darkness.
He's like, and you know what would be even more fun? And he reaches into his hammer space, which is his sleeves, his billowy sleeves, and he pulls out a picnic basket with like very traditionally checkered kind of blanket that's around the edges and stuff, and he sets it on the ground, opens it up, and unfurls the very traditionally patterned classic picnic blanket, I can word, and then he digs around from the picnic basket and pulls out a plate of sandwiches and a jug of lemonade and 2 glasses and 2 plates, and he's like, "Food!"
Food! And Benjamin sits down crisscrossed applesauce. And he's very happy.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the little happy, flappy arms on his own knees, like he's patting his knees very happily.
Yes, good. We love to see it. Sammy's shading has brightened to a very, very vibrant gold. And he hands you a plate of sandwiches and a glass of lemonade, and then plops down. But he doesn't sit cross-legged. He sits kind of on his knees and kind of sits back like that.
Alrighty. So, yeah, so I'm assuming that we're reaching near the end here as the two are picnicking, and before we stop the game, we still have not asked the Angst question, so I'm sorry to ruin such a wholesome moment, but Benjamin, he doesn't want to break the wholesome moment either, as he is trying to stuff as much as food as he can.
But he's also dying inside because he wants to know.
He does, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to ruin the wholesome mood. But as soon as he runs out of his share of food, which I assume is quite rather quickly, he kind of looks up at Sammy and is like, "Well, I don't want to ruin such a good mood, but But there is a question that is kind of eating me up inside.
Sammy looks up and he with his 16 on insight, I feel like he noticed that throughout all of Benji stuffing his face, he was dying inside, and he just kind of is like, okay, you can ask your questions.
I guess. Okay, you know what? With that insight roll, you see two things. One, hunger. Benjamin doesn't get to eat very often, being an urchin and not having a lot of money, despite Barkson Files, but he doesn't want to spend any of that precious money on food.
Sammy basically reaches inside the basket and then just hands him another plate of sandwiches. He gets it. He gets it.
Benjamin this time doesn't stuff them into his face. But yeah, with that insight, there is a question eating him up inside. Anyway, so back at the warehouse with the rest, you remember Detective Dog and Coda. Remember Tally? Ooh, Tally was cute. But then she threw that butter knife. Anyway. I just remember Sammy wasn't there to see Tally throw the butter knife.
No,
Unfortunately,
he was not. He was not. He just actually, as you're rambling, Benji, do you want to roll insight?
Why not? Oh boy. Benjamin will have to explain to Sammy the whole entire butter knife thing with Tally.
Yes.
Tally and the butter knife.
Oh, the thing is, he doesn't even know that the changeling took his place. He doesn't know that.
Oh boy. Benjamin's gonna tell you. I'm sorry, but Benjamin is.
Okay,
so you said insight.
Yeah,
correct.
insight. Roll insight.
Oh, Benjamin's gonna have to explain to you everything you missed.
What you get with an 8 is Sammy's expression shudders at the mention of the warehouse, and he kind of just, his shoulders kind of reach up to his ears, kind of, and he gets smaller. He makes himself look smaller.
Yeah, Benjamin's not good with cues.
Yeah, that's all you get. And he just kind of nods for you to keep going.
We got to the warehouse after the whole entire thing with Blue, I think was her name. No,
Blue?
not Blue.
There was a lady I didn't know with you guys, and she was. How did you?
I think he's snapping his. He's snapping his fingers. Should I roll history or intelligence to see if he can remember?
Yeah, roll intelligence.
Intelligence. Oh boy, what is your intelligence? It's not good, I can tell you that.
It's
plus 1.
Okay, with a 14 though,
14.
You managed to remember that. No, it was a color. It was definitely a color. The lady's hair was red.
It was red.
Yeah, it was red.
It was red.
Anyways, so you're rambling about red and Bear?
Sorry, no, continue. I'm still here.
You were rambling about red and
right. Oh, right. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was texting my mother.
You're totally valid.
Yeah. We sorted the whole entire thing with red being you.
Wait,
who,
what? What is she was
Yeah, Coda was attacking her. I thought it was weird that Coda, you two were brothers. You started fighting each other. A spy nearly killed me. Yeah, that was fun. But I escaped. And then we defeated Red. We captured her. She used to be Billy's girlfriend.
Sammy reaches for you, Benji, and like even though this has been like months ago, he kind of just grabs you by the shoulders and starts looking you over, trying to make sure that you're okay. And he's just like, they had another. They tried. No, you're okay. You're here. They didn't. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
Sammy? Oh no. I broke Sammy.
He's basically kind of just patting you to make, like, just reassuring himself that you're okay. And he just kind of sits back and he's like, you're okay.
Yeah, she then led us to the warehouse where we found you. I stopped Tally from dropping pianos on everyone. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Why have I should be... And he just kind of starts giggling at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an incredibly chaotic mess as me and Avi were trying to figure out what to do as Benjamin tried to stop Tally from shooting the pianos.
I loved that bit. That bit was so funny.
Oh my gosh. I was doing everything in my power to stop Tally.
It was so good. And Sammy just kind of he giggles a bit, and there was this spreading of kind of a purple shading, but it's shifted back to this more light yellow, as he's kind of laughing at the fact that of course Tally would want to try and cause a diversion with a piano.
Yeah, so
You guys found me. Thanks.
yeah. You're welcome. He says as he just leans towards Sammy.
By this point, like, Sammy, I feel like, has, like, pulled Benji to his side, and is just, like, full-on kind of cuddle mode.
Yeah. Benjamin is not resisting. He is too embracing the cuddles. With Sammy being a barbarian, I just imagine they're squeezing a little hard.
Mm-hmm. He's, like, it's a very kind of firm hug, but it's also kind of like that protective, you're not going anywhere and you're gonna be okay kind of hug.
So, the question, what happened on your side?
It's not pretty, Benji. And he kind of reaches over and kind of rubs at the wrist that's kind of loosely close to you, Benji, and you can see little dots on his skin that kind of like as his sleeves are pushed up a bit, you can see. And since you're so close, you're able to realize without a perception check that those aren't freckles, those are scars. And he kind of sighs, and it's really not pretty, Benji. Sinclair, the man behind everything, he doesn't view us as real. Are you... This is dark, Benji. I know you asked, but are you okay with me actually telling you what happened? Because it's not good.
Poor Sammy. Yes, I am ready. Okay, honestly, as Benji, I'm not sure what he would say, but he is ready. He just wants to make sure that this doesn't happen to his younger brother again.
Sammy kind of nods, and he just kind of, he honestly kind of like leans his head against Benji's head, because smaller, and he's just like, to give you some background, you've noticed that my shading changes color, right? It's not just my shading that changes. My ink also changes to match the emotions that I'm feeling. It's why I scar the same way as whatever emotion I was feeling when I got hurt. Because emotional shifting tunes, they're rare. They're visible, and they're very rare. Our ink has an emotional component to it. At least my family, we had this emotional component to our ink, and people like Sinclair, real kind like Sinclair, they use it for components, and he wanted me because I was the last person in my family, and so he found me again and took me away, and he was gonna take me very, very far away, and you guys stopped him. Well, you rescued me. You stopped him from taking me far away. But he's still out there, Benji. It's one of the reasons why I'm going to be leaving Toontown for a bit, because I've run into him twice now while I'm here, and even though Toontown is great, a ton of things happen in Toontown. I'm sick and tired of thinking I'm gonna run into him again here. So I want to see some other places before I come back, because I am coming back. You and Tally and a few of my other friends, they're all here. You're all here, and it's one of the reasons why I haven't left. But I need to leave for a bit to kind of screw on my own head, so to speak. It's gotten kind of scurry, and being here in Toontown, it hasn't helped. But I promise, when I come back, we can play hide and seek again, or...
Well, Sammy... Okay, okay. Benjamin just kind of looks up at Sammy and is like, well, Sammy, I hope this break helped you a lot.
I'll come back.
I hope you feel better soon. With his tiny noodle arms, they're not as strong, but he knows. He knows.
Sorry, you kind of cut out for me. You said he knows.
You're coming back, but he's giving you a hug as this bitch later. We'll get rid of him. Benji guarantees it.
Sammy is definitely returning the hug. And he just kind of is like, you know, we can play other games than just hide and seek. Maybe next time we can play tag. Oh, maybe we could find Tally, and maybe we could rope her into playing tag with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. And you don't have to roll insight for this. He's kind of talking to himself alongside you, Benji. Yeah, and he just kind of gives you another squeeze.
Okay. Can Benjamin make a dog toy squeak
Squeaky toy noise?
as he gets hugged?
Yes.
Depending on the intensity.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can just...
Depending on the intensity of Sammy's...
just squeak! And... Go ahead.
He did that in hopes that that would make Sammy smile after such an emotional scene.
And Sammy does laugh at that, and he just kind of lets go a little bit to ruffle your head feathers again. And then he pointedly grabs the plate of sandwiches and plops them into your lap, Benji. He noticed that you were still hungry.
Yes, Benjamin is still hungry. He's taking... Okay, you know what? Peck it. He takes the sandwiches and he leaves one out. He puts one right in front of himself as he slides the rest of the sandwiches into his hammer space for later.
Sammy nods. That is acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, what Sammy sees is Benjamin putting a sandwich right in front of him before bringing the sandwiches up to his shoulder and just dumping it all on there into his feathers. Because Benjamin's hammer space are his giant shoulder feathers that he has. Yeah, those sandwiches are now full of feathers.
Oh, bless. And I feel like on that note, we could potentially end it unless you have more to add.
Nope. Benjamin, he just he eats the sandwich that is in front of him while still trying to give comfort to Sammy as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. And Sammy just kind of plonks his chin onto your head, Benji, and he's just, his shading has gone from kind of like a muted blue to like back to like a more warm yellow color, because he's just like, I'm not there anymore, Benji is safe, he is eating sandwiches, it is good, this is good. And
everything's great.
yes, everything is good. And as I feel like the camera kind of pans up to the top of the trees and then higher up into a really gorgeously painted blue sky over Toontown, and then it kind of does that little circle thing before it kind of goes shoo boop as the screen goes black. And
yeah,
thank you all for joining us.
Thank you. That's all, folks.
That's all.